Warner Bros. Movie World's logo has mysteriously changed for the first time since the park originally opened in 1991, and people have mixed feelings. Is this a sign of a rebrand, and if so, in what direction? Is Movie World returning to their roots, with movie and cartoon theming, or is it a downgrade and shift to a more generic brand? I asked for your thoughts on social media, so let's discuss what people think. As you can see, the Movie World logo has changed pretty dramatically in this mysterious potential rebrand. Where the original logo was much more elegant and sleek looking, this new version is more of a cartoonish style, which is punctuated by the addition of the Warner Bros. Mascot Bugs Bunny himself relaxing atop the logo munching on a tasty looking carrot. The overall idea of the logo is much the same, with the Warner Bros. Symbol on a strip of film, but everything has been rounded out and simplified to look less sharp and defined. It's definitely a softer approach to the same idea and evokes a much different impression than the original version. The colours of the film reel, text and logo are all slightly darker and less shimmery, and the iconic catchphrase, Hollywood on the Gold Coast, has been replaced with simply Gold Coast. So what are people thinking, and what could it mean for Warner Bros. Movie World's branding and image as a park? I posted a poll on Instagram asking whether people liked it or disliked it, and it was a pretty even split, leaning towards a slightly more favourable impression than not, but it's definitely still a divisive change. I also asked for people's thoughts, and received some interesting comments. Hi Popcorn says, Movie World absolutely nailed it with their original logo, and I see the change is really unnecessary, though I hope this is them rebranding to start a trend where they go back to being a movie park, or similar to a Disneyland park. I fear that this is the beginning of oversimplification and becoming even more closer to a Six Flags park. It is a little bit ambiguous which direction the park is moving in based on this change. I guess you could read it one of two ways, and I certainly hope it is a return to form, like you say. Koala75 says, I do hope this means a return to form, bringing back more of a focus on movies like it used to be. It will be interesting to see what the new stunt show will be in relation to a movie theme, and if they will do something movie related to the Doomsday Precinct. The logo is okay, wasn't expecting a change, but hope that this will lead to positive changes. Excited for the future of Movie World. It definitely seems like a lot of people want the park to return back to its roots, and you'd hope that given this is something that's high in demand, that they would shift things back to that original branding. There's definitely a lot of things up in the air at the park, such as the Doomsday Destroyer, plot of land as you pointed out, and I wonder if we can expect to see a change to that space. 3-Ticket Tat Calmine says, going back to the good old days, and I hope it's a signal towards a Looney Tunes dark ride. Ooh, I'd absolutely love that. The Looney Tunes River Ride was one of my favourite attractions growing up, and I was so upset when it disappeared from the park. I would love to see something like that return. Jordan Not a Whale says, I mean it's okay, but in my honest opinion it's a huge downgrade from the original. It doesn't feel like too much effort was put into it. Don't get me wrong, I don't hate it. I like how they made it more obvious it's a film reel and made the WB logo look like a shell, but the old one was better. Ha 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 ha. There are a few things that are an improvement I feel on the new logo, such as the inclusion of Bugs Bunny, and as you say, the fact that it's more obvious it's a film reel. It's a bit of an unexpected change though, isn't it? It does seem like it's pointing towards something, but what could that something be? The Real Generic Smile says, it's not bad, I think they could clean it up a bit and add more depth to it, but it kinda seems like one of those flat, simple logos all companies are trying to do right now. But I don't mind it. I do wonder if they're gonna change the sign at the front of the park. It also feels like they just changed it because Dreamworld recently changed to a very nice logo. I don't think Movie World had to change it, but it's not that bad. Can't wait to see more changes coming to Movie World. It does seem to reflect the trends with a lot of other companies lately, where they moved towards a much more minimalistic version of their logo. And yes, Dreamworld did recently change back to a more classic logo, which was very nice, so it may be driven by their competition, as you say. Millsy1033 says, it's not as good as the original. I don't think it was a good idea to invest time and money in the new logo when so many other things in the park need addressing. The park is becoming Six Flags Gold Coast. This seems to be the concern of a lot of people, myself included in some respects. It does feel like over time the park has drifted away from what's made it special to more of the DC-centric, superhero-based theme park, with less focus on theming and immersion, and more focus on chasing the latest trends. Oz Thrill says it's giving Village Roadshow theme parks 2025. It does seem like a lot of the decisions Village Roadshow has made at their parks in the last few years have really rubbed people the wrong way, and it's kind of a contentious topic to talk about because people feel very strongly one way or the other, and I feel like there's credibility for both sides of the argument. Aston says, I think a new sign at the front of Movie World would be cool. I wonder when we'll see this new branding and sign make its way through the park, and how much work will be included to make everything consistent throughout the park. It does seem like a lot of work, and I guess it will become clear if we do see a change to the entrance sign. Kleber806 says, hopefully an exciting remainder of 2025 and a prosperous new year. Making a big change like this does feel like a bit of a statement in some ways to signify some upcoming changes, and that does excite me. I wish I could understand what the changes were exactly and the intention, but I guess we'll have to wait and find out. What are my thoughts? I've got mixed feelings about the new logo. On one hand, I like some of the changes they've made, such as the inclusion of Bugs Bunny. I think it's great they're including the mascot. I always love to see a face to go along with a place. I didn't mean for that to rhyme. But I have to admit, my first impression when I saw the logo was quite shocked. I wasn't a huge fan. There's a lot of aspects of the new logo I'm not particularly crazy about. I'm not too happy with how flat and dark the colors are. The original version felt much more vibrant and exciting to me, and this feels very toned down. I think it almost looks too simple. It doesn't pack quite the same punch as the original version, which really did give the impression of that Hollywood vibe, something very grand looking. And this doesn't quite feel like that to me. It feels like perhaps they were going for something Art Deco inspired, and if that was their intention, it didn't quite land maybe where they intended it to, in my opinion. I'm also not a fan of the removal of the Hollywood on the Gold Coast quote and just putting the word Gold Coast underneath with the font that they chose. I think it looks a teeny bit tacky. I'm not crazy about that. Village Roadshow has made a few interesting decisions in the last few years, to say the least. A lot of these changes come out of the blue without any announcement or explanation as to what they mean. I think that's what confuses people a lot of the time, especially when people have a lot of fond memories about a place or a park. When something just randomly changes and they don't really know why, it can be a bit upsetting or confusing. I think that's sort of the mystery with this change. We don't really understand what it means and what it's supposed to signify for the park itself, given the way Village Roadshow has been in terms of transparency and cluing people in the past. It feels like a bit of a mystery, but it does feel like to me that they've put a lot more effort into cluing people into their decisions and upcoming changes recently with the Stars Terrace restaurant, Scooby-Doo Spooky Coaster, and the stunt show. I get the sense that there's a shift going on behind the scenes, and I'm slightly more optimistic. All of these changes seem to indicate a pretty major shift in the park's direction, which for the most part has been DC superhero and supervillain centric. And with the disappearance of Doomsday Destroyer, the future of the park's brand and image is a mysterious topic of discussion and speculation. Which direction do you think Movie World is moving in? And are you a fan of the recent additions and changes? Let me know down below in the comments, and I'll discuss in the next episode of the Yum Yum Report. Before I finish, I'd like to share some awesome theme park highlights which viewers have sent through to me. If you'd like to share your highlights from theme parks, they don't have to be from Australian parks, they can be anywhere in the world. Feel free to send me an email or a message on Instagram or Facebook, and I'll share your highlights on future episodes of the Yum Yum Report. If you enjoyed this video, please feel free to leave a like, a friendly comment, subscribe for more, and also press the hype button to help the channel out with the algorithm. Thank you so much. A big thank you to the members and sponsors of Team Yum Yum: Randall, Maloney's Coasters, Kai on the Internet, Boogie Boogie, the Theme Park Ogre, Jordan Casey, Johnny.175, the Downy Cat, Mika, Carrie Jackin, Smasmo the Awesome, Movies Like Everyone, Aston, Breezy, Koala75, Audrey Allen, Senpai's JP Blue Dog, Senpai's JP Red Dog, Wayne Hewitt, Lee Donald, SW Stevie 1, The Kez, and the latest member of Team Yum Yum, Sienna. Thank you so much again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.